everybody, it is I, Blind Metal Gamer, here along with the wonderful and vivacious Kaira Super Saiyan. What's up, Kaira?
Oh, just trying to stay warm in this cool weather we've got here, Blind.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm definitely ready for the cooler weather, the cooler temperatures, and by God, that means only one thing. Halloween is in the air.
Of course you're ready for the cold. You want it to snow 6 feet.
That's right. So yeah, and as with tradition, each year we always talk about Halloween media, treats, traditions, etc. So
Oh,
Kyra,
yes.
do you want to kick it off? Do you want to maybe let everybody know what we're possibly going to have this time around, but we might have to wait until November?
What we are talking about today is how. Oh, wait. That's right. We may have a guest next month, y'all. Stay tuned for that. But today we are talking about all things Halloween. Halloween traditions, Halloween media, Halloween costumes, you name it.
And Halloween candy, junk food, and
Oh,
etc.
yes,
etc.
that's
etc.
right. I knew I was forgetting one.
Mm-hmm. All
There's
right.
a adorable fur monster with a Halloween bandana next to me. Please go away. Please.
Oh, we have a furry creature in the house today.
Technically, two. One of them is glued to my side. Give me some space, please. Apologies, folks. Your girl Kyra is a pet parent.
And Blind is a pet parent too, although Blind's pet likes to sleep and curl up on the bed and just sleep there.
Well, Kyra's dog is currently being very clingy.
Oh, okay. So to a different subject. Halloween. Do you want to go first on this one, Kyra?
Okay, we're gonna kick it off with a piece of Halloween media that Blind gets on to me for never shutting up about. It is the sister episode to the SpongeBob Halloween special. I Was a Teenage Gary. This episode aired by surprise on Halloween night. My sister and I came home from trick-or-treating, and we had pre-recorded what was supposed to be a true crime special on Nickelodeon. It was not a true crime special. It was SpongeBob. And me being the SpongeBob fan my sister agreed to watch it. And then the sister episode came on. I Was a Teenage Gary. Well, I may have been scared to go to bed that night. Seeing SpongeBob turn into a snail live on television was not something I was prepared to see at 7 years old.
Oh man. Okay, Halloween media. I actually I want to give a shout out to Ian Sher at 616 Entertainment. I just listened to his review of Retro Realms Halloween, the video game today.
Ah.
And this comes out, ironically enough, tomorrow. That and Ash versus the Evil Dead. They're like supposed to be old retro games based on these properties.
Yeah.
And you can buy them and play as each character in each game.
And speaking of spooky media, we got to give a shout out to the Silent Hill franchise, especially Silent Hill 2.
Yes, I have not played it, and that one, if we can get it working, me and Kyra might have to do a collab on that.
Well, I've still got my PlayStation 2. If somebody gets me a copy, I could give it a shot.
No, I'm not talking about the original.
Oh, well, good luck with that. I don't have a modern PlayStation.
No, remember, we were going to do that one collab thing.
Oh, right. Apparently, there's been a miscommunication between me and Blind, because one minute we're talking about Silent Hill 2, the next thing you know, he's talking about something completely different.
The remake.
You didn't say that.
I was going to get to that.
Anyway, we're not talking about Silent Hill today anyway.
No.
Another piece of spooky media I gotta shout out is Goosebumps, the two-parter Night of the Living Dummy 3. Your girl Kyra was so bad about that one. We were watching it at the Y After School program that came to my elementary school. And about halfway through, I get freaked out and I go up to the counselor who brought it in and I said, I can't watch this anymore. Well, the next week we get Aloha Scooby Doo, which was the hot new Scooby Doo special next week. Nobody was complaining and I'm like, no more Goosebumps? He's like, we can't watch Goosebumps anymore because you freaked out. Like, ouch, hit a girl while she's down.
Talk about a kick to below the belt. Good God.
But in my defense, I was the one who, at 11 years old, couldn't handle Goosebumps. Kyra was not the best person with scary as a kid, and quite frankly, still not as an adult. Although I do like a good slasher from the 80s, so I'm not terrible.
Nothing wrong with that. Okay, so as far as other media, I've talked about the Retro Realms games that are dropping, that will be dropping or will have been released as of the release of this podcast.
Okay, what about a
Um,
scary TV show?
all right, scary TV shows. You mentioned Goosebumps.
And
Uh,
don't mention, there's a certain show I'm going to mention earlier, and hopefully you get my hint not to mention that one.
is it being afraid of a certain thing?
Yes.
Okay, that one.
That's off limits because I claimed it for myself.
Okay, I would say was MTV's Fear.
Okay.
That was a good one.
Is there a
Ghost
specific
Hunters.
is there a specific episode that traumatized you as a kid?
No, because see, I didn't get to watch MTV's Fear till I was till later on, in life. But
Yeah.
as far as the kid, I didn't really. The one thing that got me as a kid was I went to this haunted house. Right.
Right. And I
It
did that at
was
6.
put on by the Louisville Lions Club,
Yeah.
and you would go through this dragon's head to get into the haunted house.
Yeah.
So for years I couldn't make it through. But one year I think I made it through. And they're like, all right, you did it. And it was a lot of fun. And then
Yeah.
this was with the school.
Mhm.
We would do that and go play bingo on Halloween.
Yeah. I went to a haunted house as a kid too. I went to the local zoo, which I will not disclose the name of the zoo for privacy purposes.
Mm-hmm.
But they had this event called Boo at the Zoo. They do it every year.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Well, one year they did a particularly freaky haunted house. They would the haunted house workers would stand by you while you were in line with your kids and listen in so that they could get your names. And then they'd scream your names. As you were being chased by masked chainsaw wearers through the haunted house. And so my sister, whose a pseudonym Cat we will use for privacy purposes, they go around screaming cat, 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 cat as they went after us with chainsaws. It was so freaky. I couldn't go into a haunted house until I was over 18 after that.
That would make me want to not go into a haunted house ever.
That's
Okay?
exactly why I didn't. But
To
my
hell
other
with that.
scary, my last bit of scary media before we move on to traditions, costumes, and candy is Are You Afraid of the Dark? Which Blind almost mentioned. Well, good thing I intercepted that. And there's one episode in particular that really freaked us out. It's called The Curse of Dead Man's Float. It's about a pool being built on a Indian burial ground. Well, what's really creepy is this bright red corpse comes out of the pool. Me and my sister were so scared we wouldn't get in my grandparents' pool for a week. And we're both good swimmers. We learned how to swim when I was in diapers and she was in preschool. So naturally, of course, when we're too scared to get in the pool, my mom interrogates us. We weren't allowed to watch Are You Afraid of the Dark for the rest of our lives.
Looking back on that show,
Mm-hmm.
it would be tame compared to what they got today. I mean,
Yeah, and what's interesting is Goosebumps is doing a couple of revivals. The next season drops in January, and Now Goosebumps is becoming more scary than Are You Afraid of the Dark, which is remarkable because back in the 90s it was the opposite.
Oh yeah, back in the night, Are You Afraid of the Dark was cool. But you know what I would love for them to do, and I'm just kind of going on a bit of a tangent here. They should
Uh-huh.
bring back Are You Afraid of the Dark and make it for adults and make it as scary and as insane as they can.
We already have that. It's called Tales of the Crypt.
Oh, it's that's still going. Is that on what
Well, no,
platforms is
but
that on?
people still watch it.
Where can you
Tales
find
of the
where?
Crypt. Tales of the Crypt is where Are You Afraid of the Dark got its inspiration from.
Oh, nice. Okay, so Tales of the Crypt is the OG.
Yes, Tales of the Crypt. Tales of the Crypt was not for the faint of heart. It had a TVMA rating because it could get really intense. Like it would draw the line between SFW and NSFW is my understanding. I never watched
Oh
it,
man,
but I
is
know
the
it's some disturbing shit.
is this available for streaming for the folks that want to watch it today?
I think so. I think it's on Max because it was an HBO project. So if I
Mm.
had to guess, it would probably be in the Max catalog.
Oh man, oh my God, Netflix needs to do something.
Ah, please. Netflix is garbage.
Boo. Okay,
Anyway,
so
so moving on to Halloween traditions. I got
mhm,
an interesting one.
all right.
So, me and my sister would go trick or treating with our cousin, Zen, every Halloween. And as we got older, we'd stop at our dad's to get Halloween goodie bags from our stepmom, even though it wasn't on our route because it made our dad feel good that we came to visit when my stepmother had an army of kids lined up to visit her on Halloween. Like my
Mhm.
stepmother would put out this giant cauldron full of goodie bags and everything. Well, as many of you know, I have a peanut allergy. I always have. So every Halloween, my sister and I would dump out our buckets and swap candy for what she could eat and for what I couldn't eat and what she didn't want. So stuff like peanut butter kisses and Reese's. See, that went to my sister, but I got the good stuff. I got the Tootsie Roll Pops, the Tootsie Rolls, Dots, Swedish Fish. Well, actually, no, I gave her the Swedish Fish. She liked Swedish Fish. All the good stuff. So I'd get the good stuff, and she'd get the peanut butter stuff.
Oh man, and
That was
now
always I always loved trading Halloween candy with her. My sister hated it, but mom's like, "Do you want?" But my mom's like, "Your sister needs to be able to have Halloween candy to eat too."
mhm. So okay, as far as traditions, I remember one tradition that I got to start doing 25 years ago. To be 25 years ago this Halloween,
Mhm.
I would hand out candy to the neighborhood trick or treaters.
Yeah.
I would just sit on the front porch, hand out candy, and I
I
remember distinctly I had just had a thing done and I got my vision restored. This
yeah.
is 25 years ago, so I was a teenager. And there were these two girls dressed up as they I don't know if they were supposed to be the Grim Reaper or what, but they were dressed just alike
Uh-huh.
and with the matching skeleton face paint and all this. And that was cool. And then another tradition we talked about haunted houses earlier.
Yeah.
There's a haunted house in our hometown. Did you ever go through it? Misery Manor.
No. After that one at the zoo, my mother put haunted houses off the list.
Okay, so there's one haunted house your boy Blind would love to go to if it was still around.
Uh-huh.
Industrial Nightmare.
I've heard of that one.
I
That
heard it's about.
terrorized half the kids in our town.
I hear that it was supposed. I don't know if they're still doing it, but I hear was supposed to be one of the more intense haunted houses.
Uh, I don't know. It does get more intense than that one at the zoo. But like you, I've handed out Halloween candy at my mom's because my mother gets so much Halloween traffic. She's had to give up on handing out candy at the house. It's just too intense. But I've done it, and it's pretty cool. Nowadays, I go to Blind and I's church, and for the past couple of years, I've run a photo booth for the kids. Problem is, the little gutter snipes want to take my props. So this year, I'm going to be prepared. I'm going to give them pumpkin stickers. That way, they get incentive if they want to take something.
Nice, and Blind might be making his debut at that. We will have to wait and see.
I
But
sent you the link for that.
I know,
Just
but
making sure.
I don't,
And the
you
other
know,
thing Blind and I are doing new this year, I started volunteering at the no kill shelter in our town. We are going to their Halloween party, which will have dog and kid trick or treating and a costume contest.
nice.
Have you thought of a costume for that?
No,
You need to. There's a costume contest. Anyway,
but
not the time to break Blind. But the other fun Halloween tradition I had was I had a dog who was born in October. My childhood dog. We celebrated her birthday every Halloween, and she would wear the cutest Halloween sweaters, get the cutest Halloween toys. Oh, that was a good dog. I would even make her a cake with pumpkin frosting.
did she eat the whole thing?
Yes. Well, we wouldn't let her because of her stomach, but she wanted to.
Oh man.
Well, she had a weak stomach.
Okay, so other traditions. One thing new that I've kind of started doing here lately is where I'm doing, me and Kyra do the content creation. This podcast is a new tradition.
That is a new tradition. This is, I believe, our third year doing Halloween.
Mm-hmm. And then another one I do is I'll stream like a either a action game or something that's accessible.
Or a scary game. You've done that in the past.
Yeah, but the key is this year it's got to have accessibility. So
Yeah. Blind's had some vision issues. He's got to go accessibility for now.
But I got something cooked up that I think y'all will love.
Yeah. And then, of course, on to Halloween candy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you
Mm-hmm.
know, there's so many good ones. I've always liked the Tootsie Rolls, not just the chocolate ones, the fruity ones too. The Tootsie
Mm-hmm.
Pops, the Blow Pops. But my favorite Halloween candies have always been the chocolate ones. And the S tier chocolate Halloween candy for me is a Kit Kat.
All right, I would say the S tier for me would be Snickers.
That's a good one. Although
Uh-huh.
you'd be making all the Reese's fans mad because Reese's is the best selling Halloween candy.
But there's a tie. Snickers and Reese's both claim the S tier because they're both equally as good.
And I can't put them on my tier list because I can't eat either one. I will get. So my two S tiers would be Tootsie Pops and Kit Kats.
All right, let's go down the tier list.
Worst Halloween candy for me. Those god awful circus peanuts, the orange ones. I hate those things.
I would say the worst for me would have to be um the I forget what the not the Airheads, but
Warheads, the
no,
sour
not
ones.
not Warheads. It's their the zombie Skittles, based on what I've heard.
Oh god, those things are awful. I have not had them, but I've been told they taste like rotting flesh.
That's what I've been told too, and I would probably puke if
Yeah.
I ate them things. Oh God.
And then another thing I like for Halloween is I'll do the Mountain Dew Voodoo every year. Now, Blind, I'll tell you, the zero sugar tastes way too chemical, but the full sugar tastes like Starburst.
Oh God.
So I may have to get you a full sugar from Kroger.
We'll talk about that later.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, shit. We'll have to edit
Yep.
that part out.
No, it's all
Sorry,
good. It's all good.
but
So, okay, moving one up from the worst tier. We've done the best tier and the worst tier. What's middle of the road tier Halloween candy for you?
Stuff like Mounds and Almond Joy, Skittles, not counting the zombie ones. I
Hmm.
used to love Skittles, but with all the work I've done on my teeth, I've got to put Skittles down down the down the ranking. Oh, you know what? I've got a couple more I can add to the worst. Jolly Ranchers and caramel apple pops. They yanked my fillings. I don't want to. I don't want to have to go to the dentist because I ate the wrong Halloween candy.
Yeah, I would say Jolly Ranchers and caramel pop. Yeah, those and Skittles. They're more of a middle of the road tier for me because
They are. They're
they're
good,
good,
but
except for
in
them damn zombie
moderation.
Skittles.
No, not the zombie ones. And
No.
yeah, sour Skittles I could live without. They're just they are just Skittles dipped in sour powder. They can be a little bit
Yeah,
overwhelming.
they're kind of yeah. You know,
Wild berry Skittles and tropical Skittles are probably my two favorite Skittles.
same here.
I like the regular Skittles, especially now that they brought the lime Skittle back. Thank
Oh
God they got
God.
rid of that stupid green apple Skittle. I hated it.
Oh my God. They brought the lime one back.
A
Oh
few years ago, yeah.
hell yeah. Because I've not. I mean, where we're getting older. I don't eat a lot of candy these days. Your boy
I
Blind
will eat I
eats.
will eat chocolate, but not hard candy, not very often. I've
Mm-mm.
I've had too much work done on my teeth over the past 2 years.
Yeah, and it's just where I'm getting older, and I got, I just want to be conscientious of what I put in my body. You
Yeah,
know.
like you, I have to watch my sugar. Cuz I
Hmm.
cut it real close the last time I did a blood panel. So
Hmm.
yeah, I understand that.
So, okay, so we've talked about candy traditions. What is there any like favorite Halloween video games that you like?
I haven't played it, but I've heard good things about the Nightmare Before Christmas game, and then of course a classic from Halloween. From Halloween is Grabbed by the Ghoulies. That's an Xbox exclusive
Mhm.
for the original Xbox. That game is intense, but it's really fun to play. Um, One of the harder spooky games I've played is Toonenstein Dare to Scare. That is a Tiny Toons Adventures spin-off game. And it's not easy. You would think it would be, but it's not. And then there's a game from PS1 that would be interesting to try out for myself. I've only played the demo of it. It's called 40 Winks. It's a it's about these kids trying to save their ability to have good dreams. So that would be interesting. And yeah, but there's not really that many Halloween games out there, and so it's a matter of picking between the spooky games and the scary games.
Yeah, for me, since I look at things from an accessibility lens now, with things where I've got to be accessible, I would say for those looking for a good accessible experience, The Last of Us Part One and Two,
Yeah, the last
Diablo 4.
yeah, The Last of Us is a good survival horror series.
Uh, as far as
And
other like accessible, I really don't know because there's not a lot of like accessible Halloween games out there. So shout out to the late great Super Blind Man.
And there's also I also just remembered a really good Halloween nostalgia title from the Disney Channel that is really good.
Hmm.
It is called Halloween Town. There are actually four of them. Three of them are good, although the first two are the best. And Debbie Reynolds, the late Carrie Fisher's mother, has a big role in the first three. And these are really fun because you're traveling to a world when the movie in the first two movies you can only access the fictional Halloween town where monsters and other magical creatures live every Halloween. And and you're learning about this girl who discovers she's from a family of witches, and so now she's trying to claim her destiny as a witch against her mother's witch. Oh my gosh, those first two in particular are really good.
Nice. As for me, I would say The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror.
Oh, those are a classic. I did watch last
Mm,
year's, and they are not kidding. It got a little gruesome.
nice. I wonder what they'll do this year.
I don't know. It should be coming up, I think, next month. I don't know when it's coming because The Simpsons is behind because of the strikes, but it should be coming out before Christmas, I'd say.
Nice. So yeah, as far as media, I'm gonna throw music into this too, just to kind of spice things up.
Yeah.
I would say, sorry, I would say for good music for Halloween, I would say Fear Factory, Merciful Fate.
The Monster Mash, that's a classic. And then
Hmm.
anything from the Nightmare Before Christmas soundtrack.
Yeah, that. And then as far as other bands, Iced Earth would be good. That
Ice
didn't
Earth
sound
is
about.
really good.
Oh yeah, Frankenstein and Dracula.
Frankenstein. Oh, and we got to include Nightmare Before Christmas. That is a Halloween and Christmas love story. You got to include that.
Oh, most definitely. And then let's see,
And then of
Bloodbound.
course there's other Tim Burton and claymation specials to include as well.
Oh yes, and the bands I mentioned are all good metal bands, but they would all fit the Halloween vibe.
Yeah.
And I want to give a plug for an album, one of my favorite Iced Earth albums, Horror Show.
Yeah. Oh, and then another one we got to include, the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yes, that's a classic.
I saw it live as a stage performance last year. That was fun. And without giving too much away, I will say one of the actors made a reference about how Blind and I's town was named after him.
Oh
It was
wow,
it was just a little joke, but that was a good tribute to our little town.
nice. So yeah, do you think we've maybe covered everything, or do you think can you think of other things we could cover?
Oh, one more thing we got to mention: the monster cereals.
Yes, yes.
So, fun fact about the monster cereals, they originally came out as a year-round treat when Blind and I's parents were little.
Hmm.
And there were originally three. Well, actually, it started out as two: Count Chocula and Frankenberry.
Yep.
Then Boo
Oh
Berry
geez.
entered the mix. At one point, there were 5 flavors. Currently,
Mhm.
there are 4, and now they are a Halloween treat.
Yes, they are Booberry, Frankenberry, Count Chocula, and Mummy Yummies.
No, Mummy Yummies is retired. The new one is called Monster. It's a caramel apple flavor. I forget what they call it.
Oh my! I bet they're high in sugar.
They are. And to be honest, it can be a little bit overwhelming to eat it in bulk because it's got a very it's from where it's made with cornmeal. It's got a very crunchy texture, and that texture tends to do a number on your mouth. But this year they're doing a mashup like they did. So it's a monster mash this year.
Nice.
So it has the flavors of Count Chocula, Frankenberry, Boo Berry, and the caramel apple flavor all in one this year.
Oh my God, that would be insane.
It's bound to be full of sugar. It's bound to be
Oh
because
yeah.
the thing that people because the thing is about the thing that makes the monster cereals is the monster cereals are good because they have marshmallow bits in them.
Yep.
Oh my
Mm-hmm.
gosh. But like just go on YouTube and look up monster cereal commercials. It's so much fun to watch the old ones from the 70s.
Oh, I know. Or in my case, listen to them.
Well, yeah. But like yeah, because for the longest time it would be Count Chocula and Frankenberry debating which cereal was the best.
Nice. I remember, my personal favorites, as a younger blind metal gamer, I liked Count Chocula the best, and I liked Frankenberry.
Count Chocula is the best, but my favorite is Boo Berry.
Nice.
Although it tastes similar to Frankenberry, so who cares?
Mm-hmm. All right. So, anything else you want to cover?
No. Oh, I got one more thing, and Blind's gonna kill me for this. If you play The Sims 4 has a couple of different options for Halloween.
Yeah, I saw that. The Funeral and Death Pack.
No, that's different. No. Halloween is actually canonically in The Sims 4. So you can have a Halloween party and do other Halloween traditions in The Sims 4.
Oh boy.
It's pretty cool. But yeah, the life and death pack is something different. That involves the Grim Reaper and a Reaper career and rebirth, unfinished businesses, all kinds of things. And quite frankly, I'm not too pleased with it because there's a lot of things about that pack that should be free to us players.
Yeah, now personally, I don't play The Sims because I couldn't just get into the concept of it, and B,
Well, the other thing about The Sims with
not
you is
accessible.
it's a very visual based game. You'd have a hard time playing it.
Now, if they would make it blind accessible or
But
accessible,
that would take away from the immersion of the game because it's a life simulator.
Oh wow! I'm sure there would be a way. They would find a way. But the point being is, this is EA we're talking about. So,
and EA is getting very money hungry these days. Tim and I really need to talk about the greediest franchises, the greediest video game companies out there.
Yeah, kinda. Maybe we can do that in 2025.
Yes, and for one last bit of humor, the fur monster that was referenced earlier today, was very playful and got a hold of Kaira's new treat basket.
Uh-oh.
Thought it was a toy.
Uh-oh.
It looks like a toy.
Well, Blind's fur monster is dreaming about. I don't know what he dreams about because Blind's fur monster just purrs and wants lovins.
The other fur monster is in a beam of sunlight by the window, so who knows? She's probably dreaming about an infinite supply of kibble.
Yeah, I'm sure my fur monster is dreaming about the same thing.
Probably. Well, alright, I think we've covered all things Halloween, unless we forget one more thing like we've been doing the whole podcast.
Yeah, I believe so. But yeah, go check out some of those bands I mentioned and some of the soundtracks
check out
too.
some of those Halloween specials. And you know what? There's more Halloween specials than the one they've mentioned. Like every cartoon Blind I've watched has done a Halloween special.
Also, I do want to give a quick mention. Netflix. I'm going to be watching this weekend. It'll be this weekend as of this recording. But go on Netflix and look up Psycho. Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho is on there with audio description.
How could I have forgotten about that? That is one of the that movie revolutionized the horror industry as we know it.
So yeah, your boys got to watch that. You know what I mean?
Yep. Oh, and another one to mention. Another one to mention. I got a few to mention. I promise I'm almost done. The Exorcist, the Alien franchise, although not the complete Alien franchise. I'm talking about Aliens, and the new Alien that just came out this year. And then, of course, the Friday the 13th franchise, the Scream franchise, and the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise.
Oh, yes. And I would like to give Ian Scher at 616 Entertainment another shout out. Scream Sequence, razor sharp reviews of your favorite creepy classics, is back on that channel for season 2 as we speak. So you can
Yes.
go watch season 1, and then you can watch season 2. There's a lot of great reviews in there.
Go
Uh,
check out the Goosebumps revival on Disney Plus, the original Goosebumps on Netflix, and Are You Afraid of the Dark? I believe that one's on Paramount.
yes, go check all that out, and before we wrap up, have a happy and safe Halloween. Stay warm, stay safe.
And keep your pets inside, especially if it's a
Hmm.
black cat.
Yeah, we don't want the kitties and the pets being tortured.
Yeah, black cats are subject to torment on Halloween. And as someone who has seen their black cat come back with a tuft of fur missing and a bloody neck, please be careful about your pets.
Yes, and make sure for the little ones who are going to be trick or treating, have
Put
the family make sure it's safe to the candy is safe. You
and
know,
put reflectors on your kids if you're going to be trick or treating outside.
yes. Other than that, Kyra, you got anything you want to say before we sign off?
All I'm going to say is Happy Halloween, y'all.
All right, happy Halloween. Oh, and I don't know if I did this on the last podcast, but I do want to say congratulations to Colby Koloff and Maddie Newton for the additions to their families.
And I, of course, want to congratulate my own family. Kyra's getting a nephew later next year.
Hmm. All right, so with all that being said, have a happy and safe Halloween. Me and Kyra will be back in the month of November along with our guest. You
We
want to
will
tell them
be
who our
talking about Thanksgiving and Christmas traditions.
Do you want to tell them who our guest is going to be, or do you want me to do that honor?
Why don't we leave that as a surprise for next episode?
Yeah, that's a good idea. All right, with that being said, for Kyra Super Saiyan, I've been your host, Blind Metal Gamer, saying have a happy Halloween, stay warm and stay safe, and we will see you guys on another episode of The Blind Side real soon.
And
So long, everybody.
I'm Kyra Super Saiyan. Stay golden, stay safe, have a happy Halloween, and trick or treat.